Go to mine, you know, circle of a dick jumping at the time. I'm just kidding. I don't get no money, ouch. You're my motivation, you're the reason why I hustle now. Funny how, funny now, my main nigga money power. Your body now, telling to my music loud. In the crowd, thanking me and telling me I'm dead. But lay it out. Welcome in, Angel Ventures, dude. How's it doing? Never been a ditch and doing that shit, nobody proud of me. Welcome in. By my back, they clowning me. Welcome in. We're just getting started. You had not missed nothing. We're rolling in a little bit late. I got a little sidetracked, but here we be. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Happy hump day. Hump day night. I don't know. Maybe we'll just go Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Aw, glad to see you too. You the reason why I hustle now. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Whoa, that was crazy. Wow. Welcome in. When you push the wrong buttons on the screen. That is on some hood shit. Aw, what's up, feline? Cats are half in, half out, man. I always feel like cats are naturally half in and half out. 1 foot in each plane. You know? They're just a little bit of those, you know. And I have a cat. Like, they're a little bit, they're like that kind of animal that's always like, is that thing okay? You know? Welcome in. Miss Robin, how's it going, dude? I hope everyone's having a good day. We're doing discounts today since this is the last time I will be on until Monday evening, possibly Tuesday. So we are doing 5. No, I'm sorry. Whoa, back it up. What was that? We might need to think about that. We were doing 10-10 for my subscribers, and we're doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers. My mama sent her to me after she passed. Aw, that's so nice. My uncle passed, and he always used to feed the stray cats and give to a bunch of animal rescues and the Red Cross, and even though he didn't have a whole lot to himself, and when he passed away, he also sent every stray cat my way. 100%. You know when you're just staring at something and you're like, is that you? It was one of them moments. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? We are just getting rolling. We're just hanging out for a little bit. If you guys have collective questions, feel free to drop them down. If you want to chit-chat about something, drop it in the comments. You know, if you want to share a win, drop them in the comments. But it has been an interesting Wednesday. The sun's been out. It's been gorgeous weather. Absolutely beautiful. But the energy's been a little bit interesting today. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it. But the energy's been getting a little bit interesting. Hey, how's it going, Miss Lauren? Dude, I hope you're having a good day. I hope everyone in here is having a good day. Day comes and nobody calls. Friday night, when your engine stalls, I pray all your dreams. How's it doing? Are we having fun yet, guys? If you are in here, please tap that screen. I made TikTok angry today when I posted a video that wasn't cards. I thought it was funny regardless. Oh, hell. I hope everyone's... My car blew up, but it is what it is. How old's your car? Welcome in, Miss Isabel. How old's your car? Welcome in, Amber. How's it going? I hope everyone's having a good day. So not super new. I don't know. That doesn't feel bad to me though. Like the card blew up. Doesn't feel bad to me. I'm wondering what they're inserting in for you because it just doesn't feel bad. Like, or a lot of times someone has that happen, like, where just something goes bad or something goes out before it's expected to go out. Like, it doesn't feel bad. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. That just, it's not striking me as, like, dismay or disruption or, like, chaos energy. It's almost striking me as redirection, like a purposeful out to bring something in. Welcome in, Miss Jen. I don't know why I say that, because it's like a car, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like super crazy to me. To where sometimes people, like, you know, they have like a string of bad things in their mind happen. I'm like, ooh, what kind of energy are we working with? Or like, and I'm like, I love cars, so like anything engines, you got my ear, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, don't let it get to you. Just don't. It ain't worth it. It is what it is, and what it's not, it'll never be. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? The list is open. We are doing 10-10 for my subscribers since I will not be back until Monday night at the earliest, potentially Tuesday morning. But, and then for my non-subscribers, it's 12-12 tonight. So if you guys would like something felt into, if you want something pulled on, or something like that, we can do it, and that's not a problem at all. We have Cash App, we have Venmo. The only thing I ask is that when you choose to donate, that you just come back in and you let us know how you donated. That way we can get you on the list and we don't miss nobody. If you are in here, please smash that screen. Please share the live. Feel free to drop a hello down in the comments. We kind of got to get the room a little bit active. So feel free to say hello. Melanie, how does Brandon feel towards me? I'm sorry, Miss Melanie. I won't be able to answer that question. We could do a love relationship read for you, but I can't do, like, what is Brandon feeling without Brandon's permission. So I'll never be able to answer something like for somebody's energy that hasn't given me the okay. But I can do like a love relationship. I can do like a, you know, in your greatest highest good, how does this relationship look? Like, we can do stuff like that, but it would just have to be in your energy and not somebody else. So totally up to you. We are doing reads today for 10-10 and 12-12 for my non-subscribers. If you would like one, we got Cash App, we have Venmo. Just let us know when you're ready. I'll go and check those spaces. No worries. Yeah, they won't do it. It's not even like it's just that my team won't play there. So we're very energy based, so it's kind of like they don't like it. And if it's my rule, like somebody can't do it to me, and I'm protected in that way, then we can't turn around and do it to somebody else, you know? But it's okay. I know a lot of people do it, and it doesn't bother them, but my team is like a hard and fast no. We'll just sit here all day, and they won't answer nothing. You know what I mean? So it happens sometimes. It definitely happens. I hope everyone's doing good, though, because we're working through so much transitions collectively. The masculines are stepping up. The females are gaining their strength and their voice, which is huge, especially with the feminine rise, like we talked about before. The ancestors are angry and they're fiery, passionate, because what the feminine is doing right now is breaking generational curses, whether she realizes it or not, when she's standing up and owning her shit and standing in her power. And these masculines that are ascending right now and just starting to choose them and realize in one way, shape, or form how they've stood in their own way, and they're starting to flip the script. Together as a whole, the collective is going up. So if you are feeling very optimistic, if you are feeling like you can kind of predict what's going to happen to see what's happening because it's a cycle, or maybe you feel like you're in your most abundant year yet and you're in receiver mode and things just really seem to be kind of going your way, and it's like even the small things that may trip you up, you're not tripped up for very long. Then you turn around, you got two good things coming in for every one bad, and this is kind of where the collective is as a whole. So you're not alone, and you're not off in space if this is what you were feeling at all. I want to tell people that your connections with your higher self, but particularly with the cosmic energy, is increasing right now. Particularly the cosmic energy when it comes to the crown, and when it comes to the higher self-understanding and understanding of a lot of things. So there's a lot of growth going on. There's a lot of transition as we transition into spring, into other things, and oof. Welcome in, guys. What did I miss? I'm so sorry. What did I miss? You did, Miss Lauren? I'm sorry. Let me check spaces. I'll be right back. Hold on. I pushed the wrong button somewhere. Alrighty, Miss Lauren. Let me just write your name down somewhere in a blank area as to not get confused with anybody else. Alright, Miss Lauren. Do you have a particular question or topic that you would like felt into? Is Miss Lauren still here? Do you have a particular question or topic that you would like felt into, Miss Lauren? Not. I have been doing a lot of energy work. Just want some guidance. I'm just going to assume that was the only message we sent, and it just was supposed to say no instead of not, and I didn't miss a message. Alright, no question. Cool. Just checking, because sometimes talk filters and we don't get the notification messages. Doing a lot of energy work. Just want some guidance. Alright guys, the list is open. We're not going to be on here too late tonight, so if you want to get on the list, go ahead and get on there now. My subscribers, it is 10:10. We're doing a little baby give back before I am gone for a few days off of live. Everything else is 12:12 for my non-subscribers. We have Cash App, we have Venmo, and then we're on the list right now with Miss Lauren. I'm sorry, just ignore me. I'm discerning something for a second. Have you been doing like physical energy stuff? Like, I know you say energy work, but have you been doing like physical energy work, like chakra or Reiki or something like that, to where it's more structured? Where, as opposed to like a blended energy kind of a healing, or work, I should say, Because it almost feels a little bit structured, and it feels as though you feel it's missing something. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. It feels as though that you feel in the energy that something's missing. Like, it's kind of not hitting an area or a feeling or a sensation or a relief point that you were hoping it would. Like, that's the way that I want to say that this feels. And that's why I was telling you I wanted to discern on it for a second and talk with my team and your team, because there's just something here where it feels very structured, in the fact of exercises maybe, to where it only might be hitting like one side of energy, and it doesn't feel like though it plays nicely with adopting or blending things together. And there's a part of your light body that I feel like it's missing. Like, I want to say that it doesn't, I'm going to be honest, it don't do it for you. Like, I'm going to be honest, it just doesn't do it for you. There's something here that it's not touching part of your light body, in the fact that it's not activating and it's not triggering a part of your light body. So when you are doing it, it almost feels as though you're going through the motions and you're not receiving the benefit you were hoping you would. And I feel like part of you thinking you need guidance is because of this feeling like you're missing something. I don't think you want a kudos. That's not the kind of energy here. You don't want someone to clap for you. That's not it. You're like, I must be doing something wrong because this is not what everyone says it is, because it doesn't feel that way. And it's coming to this point where I almost feel as though, you need it paired with something. You need it paired with something, because your energetic map seems not the most compatible with the physical, I want to say tradition. The physical tradition that you are currently working on. And in the confinement that you're working on. It, like, the image that they're giving me is literally like it's only lighting half of you up. Like, physically, it's like the whole left side is like, eh. And for me, my left side, and I don't mean just on me, but when I think about splitting the body directly in half, like, if we were to take everything out and remove the chakra system, remove everything, and we were just to cut you in two, my left side is my feminine side. Now, when we start dealing with, like, it just looks completely grayed out. And your right side, which I would put as my masculine side, if I were to cut you just in two, feels like it's being lit up. It feels like it's, at the very least, grinding its gears. So it makes me feel as though there's a part of working with the light body paired with your intuition, paired with your actual flow of energy, that this whole process is missing. So it's almost like, because it's structured and because you think through the exercises and because you're following it step by step, is the way that I want to say it, with almost no ad lib to it, no you touch, it's not hitting it. So I don't do energy like everybody else does energy. And 919 on the clock. I'm very much self-taught in a very untraditional way that weaves in a lot of things. And I almost want to tell you to try different things. And I think part of it is, I think you still have a lot of blockages when it comes. And when I say the word blockages, I don't mean there's anything wrong with you. Not at all. I mean with your healing. Like, if you were to take out energy and you were just to talk about your healing journey, there's still a lot there. The chest area is still very muddled. And when I say muddled, it's a little fuzzy looking. It's not illuminating. There's no clear edges. It's almost like as if there is a fog in the chest, which to me is usually signifying of deep-rooted heart-related things, like if you weren't the most open, or you had like a trust wound, or you kind of weren't always the best at expressing maybe your love or your feeling, and didn't always feel the safest in the most intimate relationships. Sometimes a lot of that can show up as chest congestion. And honestly, that's where a lot of it, I feel like, is coming from. We get a little bit that comes up into the throat, but it's not like super heavy up in the mind. It really is illuminating just this chest region really, really high. And I feel like part of it that you're lacking the flow when you work with your energy is because you're still holding on to stuff. And anytime you hold on to stuff, what you do is if you think of it like a hallway, if I put boxes in the hallway every time we're talking about healing, the hallway gets narrower and narrower, and people have to slow down to navigate around the obstacles, right? The boxes, the packages, the baggage, the whatever, right? The walls we put up, the barriers, the things we shut out. And it just restricts the flow. So those are your barriers. And when we start working with energy, if we don't clear the hallway, the energy has difficulty flowing. So if you feel as though certain things are not being illuminated or ignited, it's because you're 100% right. And if you don't feel satisfied, it's because you're only working with part of yourself and not all of yourself. Now, your feminine is a lot of times where your individual magic lies. It's where your individual oomph, I call it your ness, that separates your energy from everybody else on the planet. So, okay, so when you deal, this was not what I meant, by the way, when I said that we wanted to do this tonight. When you deal with energy in the way that I teach it, in the way that I deal with it, it's unique like a fingerprint. Even identical twins have a slightly different energetic signature. But that also means I manipulate energy, you manipulate energy, and your neighbor manipulates energy completely different. But it's all subtleties. So some things work well for others and some don't for some people. You're one of those people who are going to have to do two things at once. And you're going to have to clear out some of your hallway to get your energy flowing, because just focusing on maybe chakras or yoga stretchings, because there's something about like body manipulation or morphing isn't going to do it for you. You also have to hit it on a feeling level, on an emotion level, your energy in motion, in the way of your feminine feelings, in the way of your specifically for you, your trauma healing is the way that I want to kind of say it. Wall tap for confirmation, your trauma healing. And I know trauma is a big word, but it's just the only filler word I have to use right now. You can swap out trauma with whatever you want. Situations, obstacles, child self, teen self, adult life, whatever. Yeah, you got the generational curses card, which is bringing me back to that healing. It's not pulling me straight to the need to try a new energy thing yet. It's almost like you're trying to skip a step, but you didn't realize it was a step. Like, that's the way I want to say it. It's just like you skipped a step for a second, but you just didn't realize that there was a step before the one you're doing now that would be beneficial to you, is the way that I want to say it. That, and there's something about fearing the connection. There's something about fearing the connection for you, in that almost when you get to the point where you're almost a little too connected, to where things start happening, it's like it's a little bit of an uncomfortable zone for you, and you pull yourself out of deeper connection. That's the way I want to say it. So I've done the exercises, I know, trying to clear them, but it not helping, and I can't pinpoint it. Yeah, struggling to accept the higher connection, struggling to accept the link. So you got a couple things going on. It's uncomfortable when you work energetically, and you do get kind of synced in, or you feel as though you sink in. It kind of almost startles you out of connection. That's the way I want to say it. It almost startles you out of connection, even though it's something you want. it still hits your energetic light body as something foreign because you're not used to it. And then it sends like a rush is the way that I want to say it. And then you pull out and you're like, oh no, we were so close. And then you almost like, it's like almost like you go back to whatever you were trying to do and it just doesn't have the same effect. They're also telling you to kind of be a little bit slow with yourself. Like, not that you're slow, but like take it slower. It's okay. That'll go away the more you practice it. But just don't focus on the fact that that happened. Just focus on what you were doing a couple steps before those things happened, before the rush of like, came in and seemed to cut your channel or cut your connection or cut your deep dive. Now with your question, I'm going to look at the screen in a second. With your question, are you wanting to know where to start with your healing as far as the chest, heart chakra area? Because, oh, thank you so much, Merc. Okay. Who's, before we even throw cards, like, on that question for a second, there is, like, a masculine energy, that is kind of pushing through, and I don't mean pushing through as though I have a dead person in my room. That's not the kind of pushing through I mean. I mean, your team is coming out with a masculine energy, and my initial gut reaction is dad. I don't necessarily know why. We're going to throw cards on a second, but I'm just letting you know that before we do this, that there is some sort of hierarchy masculine, and I almost want to ask you how your relationship was with the masculine who would have acted as either a father figure or somebody who would have placed themselves in the same similar role, who was like an authority figure to you growing up. That's kind of the way I want to say it. Good Lord, what kind of spit out was that? I'm not sure if they threw that out or if that just like threw up on the table. There's just almost like this not seen energy is the way that I want to say it. It feels, it kind of feels like not acknowledged. Excuse me, transmutation. And there we go, the King of Coins. It just feels slightly like left out, a little sad. It seems not really acknowledged or seen for who you are or what you bring to the table. It seems like there's a little bit of conflict here with whoever this King of Coins energy is, and it comes out as a masculine. Let's see if we can just ask the question straight up. Why dilly-dally? Let's not grab the whole tablecloth, people. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of Five of Cups. Five of Cups is always like my grief, my despair, my like left out, like my sadness, like that heartbreak card. Jesus. Was there a lot of masking around you, 9:29 the clock? Was there a lot of masking around you when you were little? Do you remember, and I don't mean, it doesn't have to be super little, but just when you would have been living at home, that's the way I'm going to say it, when you would have been dwelling at home, was there a lot of like deception, a little bit of trickery, like somebody was that type of person to be like super smiley? And as I'm saying this, I have like tons of feminine energy on the table. I just want to let you know that. I have like the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, all in reverse on the table. But they're almost kind of talking about how with this kind of seven of Swords, it's giving a little bit of that deception energy to where it's like with somebody the kind of person who would like yell at you and then be like, smile. And then they go out in public and be like, hi, darling. Like, oh my God, this is my daughter. Smile. Like, it's like this weird kind of an energy as to where like you just didn't feel appreciated is the way that I want to say it. Or like things were just a little bit rough. It's kind of like a weird muddled energy because a little bit of like this lack of being seen or this like not really being understood properly is maybe the way that I want to say it. Like you just didn't really feel like you were understood. I don't necessarily want to say, and I got a page card out here hinting at the age and the innocence, but like I don't want to even say like, I don't want to necessarily say it's like that seen and not heard because that's not really the energy pull that I'm getting, but it is definitely like almost like this, like just not being understood, like just not being included, not being understood, somebody not really getting you is the way that I want to put it, is somebody not really getting you. To me, it's just that energy of it's like that energy of kind of being like stuck in the closet almost and like not seen, but then going through the motions to be seen. Like it is the most confusing energy because it's paired with a grief energy and it's paired with a sadness energy, but it doesn't feel like a current sadness because it kind of feels like you blocked it out. It doesn't really feel like the sadness is there right now. Like, and with this page out on the table, like it's literally making me feel as though it's back in the day. Like it's stuck in your innocence. It's stuck in your younger self is the way that I really want to say it. But it's in the heart chakra because it is paired with your ability to be loved. It is paired with your ability to love somebody else. And I don't even want to say like mishandled. I feel like those are all too strong of a context. And this is what is really throwing some confusion in here. So I don't know if this is your confusion energy of the fact of sitting there going, well, yeah, it was a little bit like kind of, but then the other breath being like, no, it's fine. Like, it's almost like this like tug of war because one second when I think we're getting somewhere, when I think I'm like, okay, this feels like a pretty strong signal, it's like all of a sudden the energy just cuts and then it shifts to kind of being a little bit lighthearted, redirecting, so it went from masculine, redirecting to feminine, hinting at something, and then it's like, oh, it almost got too close to center, cut off, redirected again, and they're like, oh, well, and it just seems like this swappy energy makes me feel like it's something that's being unintentionally actively avoided. That's the way I want to say it, like unintentionally actively avoided. And I mean unintentionally because I feel like consciously you're like, what? But then subconsciously, like, it's already been kind of like stuck away. It's already kind of been boarded up. It's already kind of been like pushed back is the way I want to say it, to where it's no longer stored in like the frontal part of the brain or the whatever the part of the brain that pulls it into present day. It's kind of like hidden is the way that I want to say it. And I feel like this is where you kind of like sitting on that little bit of a line to where it's like almost in your shadow, but not quite, which is really interesting. And I feel like that's kind of why it's hard for you to find it, because I feel like this part of your energy doesn't want to be found. Like, that's the way it feels like it's dipping, dodging. Like, even as we're talking about it, I feel like if I were to embody it as a physical energy, like if I were to be like, give it a character, like some people do their guides, you know what I mean? Like if I were to give it a character and label it your child self, it's like we're playing hide and go seek in a house with way too many hiding spaces. And I don't know the layout, but your kid knows it. Like, that's the type of like chasing tail energy you have here. I'm going to be 100%. And it's because it's uncomfortable. And it doesn't want it addressed. So if you feel ping-pongy, if you feel like you kind of get it like, oh my God, I think I'm almost there. And then like, I think I kind of did. And then all of a sudden, and it like blips out and it disappears. It's dip dodging you. And I know that sounds weird, but it's a defense mechanism. It's your body's defense mechanism. It's this younger self's defense mechanism when we talk about energy, because it's still separate from self and it's not been, and that's why we have a lot of the higher conscious card out. Like, because it's not been brought together, because it's not been merged, conscious, subconscious, because you're not working as one energy, and this energy is kind of slightly separate and doing its thing within your energy. That's where I feel like a lot of your confusion's happening, is because you're not fully adopted back into one. It's still slightly separate. And when we talk about separate, I feel like that's where, ew, what was that? I feel like that's where your shadow element comes in, is because, Jesus. See? This is when you know the energy is like, don't get any closer. When you can't shuffle the most basic of cards. And I feel as though it almost comes into this cat and mouse game because you're getting super, super close to it. That's the way I want to say it. I know it sounds funny, but in a private space, I have seen this before in shadow work when we sit down in shadow work sessions. So it's not necessarily surprising to me, but it is a little bit harder for you. So I would tell you to start at your child self. I would tell you to start back at ground zero. And I don't mean all the way back at ground zero to where like nothing you did made a difference. No. I'm just saying we need to start back at your root when it comes to chakra systems, because your root oftentimes is a lot of times where your inner child resides, in the fact of structure, stability, and safety. And if your inner child feels like it needs to have the upper hand because it doesn't feel comfortable in getting close to the root of core wounds, then we need to bring it some stability. So the root is all about stability. I would start there for you, and face fears now, like face fears now, and then go back into your child self. So start with the earliest memory you can remember. Start there. And the reason I say that, you can start inner working in chakra meditations and stretching. You can do that. You can start working in foods that either come from the earth, like the dirt, like potatoes, radishes, or you can do red colored fruit. You can start wearing red for color therapy. All of those things are good, because if you've been trying to pin your inner child down and they're dip dodging, which they clearly are, we got to start back down at the foundation, and we got to create a stable place for your inner child to not feel the need to run from you, because you're not the adult right now. You almost got to get back on your inner child's level for a second, because it's almost viewing you as the adult and doesn't want to go there, doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't want to address it, doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Kind of in that avoidant style, of if we don't talk about it, it doesn't matter. If we don't address it, then I'm fine. And there's just something about the not wanting to talk that I don't know if you face that as an adult. Sometimes not feeling like you can verbally express yourself, and I'm getting cold chills. But if you do, I do feel like it does stem from your inner child rather than your inner teen. Some people like lose their voice as the teen, but I really feel like for you in particular with this type of energy, it almost feels like it starts with your child. Just kind of maybe being the observant person, because I did get that conflict card out before, that 5 of Swords, and it just makes me feel like there's more to the story here, but I feel like you're also 939, you're also kind of playing catch up with your inner child, in the fact that you're chasing it, so therefore it's running, and I feel like that's over half the problem, is because it's as persistent as you. So, like, let's just make that clear. It's as persistent as you. Almost, you're not, I feel as though you have enough brain control Yeah, I feel as though you have enough brain control in your energy to be able to sit quietly in meditation, even if it's for just a couple minutes. I would suggest you do that with the intention, sit still with the intention of reaching your inner child, and even if it's just to play. I know that sounds weird, but especially with this feeling of this Five of Cups, kind of this left out, this lonely, this little bit of grief forgotten about, not really seen, maybe not the best heard, kind of energy that it seems to be running with. Try to do the root thing, obviously, but like, since you have a little bit of space that you can like focus in on something, they're kind of saying that it might be a good idea to like sit down with your inner child in mind, and almost bridge a connection with your inner child, but not to pick at what's bothering it, not to pick at what's happening, or why is it running, or why does it not feel safe, or why does it not want to talk about something. Like, don't come right out the gate with that. They're almost kind of talking about sitting down and playing. So like, if you have to like, it's so hard to like, it's so hard to give you a tool because we're not in a private space and I haven't felt into your ability level. So I don't want to give you a tool that is going to frustrate you. But I really do feel like you're a visual person, and I really do feel like you're upper Dantian in the way that you can shush it for a second. You can shush the mind. So you can almost picture playing with you as a kid, your inner child. I do tell people when they first find their inner child, if they don't look like you, or they don't look like you remember, it's okay. Because you got to remember, they're stuck in the energy that something happened. And sometimes the longer something is stuck in an energy, they slowly start to embody the energy. So if it's this sadness or this thing, some things may seem like they may show up in black and white. They could show up very pale. They could show up very dark. They could show up kind of angry. It just depends on what kind of energy they've been stuck or sitting in when they kind of detach subconsciously. If this is making sense, I really hope it is. So I tell people, like, don't be startled in case your inner child doesn't show up, like, with you in pigtails, loving life and it's sunny. So just be mindful of that, but they want you to kind of pick a time to play with your inner child in visualization, but then also kind of working it in a couple minutes every day. Like, maybe you just do something now in the physical, and you kind of keep your inner child in mind, like, oh, I'm going to go on that swing for a couple minutes, you know, thinking about, like, oh, me and my inner child, let's go, you know, because they're talking about having to kind of rebuild a bond with your inner child, that they're not going to play hide and seek from you. They're not going to run from you. It's almost like tap on the wall. It's almost like, my back is getting cold. It's almost like they want you to kind of become friends first. Like, I don't know if you were shy as a child, because I just feel like I'm seeing half of a kid, in the way of, like, it's hiding behind someone's leg is the kind of the way that I want to say it. Like, when somebody hides behind someone's leg and you just see, like, one eyeball and it's like, they're, like, poking out. So I don't know if you were a little bit shy as a child, but you just got to keep in mind that if you guys have been separate for a second, as though it's been stuck in your subconscious and kind of paused at the inner child age, you kind of got to reintroduce yourself. And I know that sounds weird, but your inner child is stuck or paused at, like, I don't know, 8, like 8, and then you're however you old now. So sometimes the two are not in contact. So you got to reintroduce yourself. And for some people that can be very emotional. So just make sure you're in a space where you're not going to feel the need to guard yourself emotionally. So if you need a quiet room by yourself, where you would normally maybe be practicing some of your energy stuff. But yeah, I would start there, because there's just this dip dodge game that you're going to want to get a hold of. But as far as your energy goes, it's because of that. It's not because what you're necessarily doing in the exercises is wrong. But it's more just that you're almost looking too close to it as like one step by step, and you got to kind of step back and look at like the whole light body. So that's where they want you to kind of start. Because it kind of just makes me, it really just makes me feel like it's just paused. So I don't know, maybe when the switch flipped, because I know you just said like you had to grow up quick. So I don't know at what age that flip switched. But at some point it did, and that's more than likely probably where your inner child is paused. Either right at that age or a couple months leading up to that age when things started to shift. But that's kind of what they're telling you to start with. But because of the need, especially since you just said because of the need to grow up quickly, that makes 1,000% sense to me why they want you to play with your inner child, because your inner child was denied play. Your inner child had to be an adult and probably adult others at that point, instead of playing. So I would definitely start there. But as far as your security goes, the fact that your inner child is running, you do need to go to root chakra and you do need to create security. So just working with frequency music, meditations, maybe playing something in your sleep. You can do the color red. You can start working in anything from the ground, anything that comes out of the dirt, peanuts, like stuff like that. Anything that's brown or grown from the dirt, or anything the color red like an apple, or stuff like that. You can also Google like a general list, but there's a bunch of herbs as well that is great for root chakra. But kind of all of those things paired together. If you want to work in affirmations, you definitely can. But if you really want to bust through it, I would layer things and work with your inner child first. Does age 13 hit close? So the first time we were talking about the masculine energy, it was striking me more as 12. When we swapped to the feminine energy, it was striking me more as 8. The image I got of hiding behind the legs struck me somewhere in the middle, so we'll just split it in half and call it 10. I didn't feel anything super old like 14 or 15. They were keeping you pretty young, like under 12, in the images I was getting. But that doesn't mean that that's not where that starts. If that is your memory of something happening at 13, that's entirely possible. But it probably stems back a little further. Because sometimes when we remember something happening at a certain age, there's actually a slow lead up before then where things started shifting or changing or becoming unacceptable or becoming expected, and then the shift usually happens to where the flip inside us changes. Yeah, that was the end, was 13. Okay. So then, yeah. So that's why they're not showing me anything above that. So that would be why they're keeping it back. Yeah, 949 for your confirmation. I'm going to scroll back through. Let me know if you need anything else confirmed, Miss Lauren. I'm going to just read all your comments. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I've been doing a lot of energy work. Just want some guidance. No question. I'm trying to type fast. Welcome in, James. Thank you so much for the gifts, dude. Yes. Welcome in. Thank you so much, Chloe, for the follow. I'm definitely missing something. Exactly. So I have done the exercises, I know, trying to clear them, but not helping, and I can't pinpoint it. Hey, you have really pure vibes. Thank you so much. We just kind of do our own thing. I appreciate it, Merc. Yes. My husband left 9 months ago and never said anything. Now just reaching out a couple days ago. Oh, Brittany, that's the collective. We're in the middle of Pisces season, and Pisces is all about apologies, but because of where we're at right now, and a lot of people who aren't the most healed people are coming back to begin their cycle again. So just make sure you use your discernment. Is he coming back because he changed and is sorry and whatever, and you guys want to do that? That's your choice. But that is 100% what the collective's doing right now. So that statement entirely does not surprise me. No matter what side of the collective you are. Room for another reading. Oh, of course, Shadow, if you would like one. Thank you so much, Leo, for the gifts. Oh my god, yes. Thank you, Leo, for the cone. My grandmother who raised me. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, my mom that gave me up. Okay, so that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Not only about, what is it? Not only the 5 of Cups, but I want to say it's a 6 of Cups. I think on one of the decks we had a 6 of Cups, and that's usually like the walking away from the abandonment. So that makes sense. That makes sense, that statement. If your mom gave you up, why there would not only be a 5 of Cups, but a 6 of Cups on my table. Not once, but in 2 different decks. That makes sense. Crow Collective had a rough childhood. Can I send in for a read? You're more than welcome to. List is open. We're doing 12/12 for non-subscribers, and we're doing 10/10 for my subs. Hide and seek was my favorite as a kid. I feel that. Inner child is really good at hiding. Whoa. Not always. Some people's inner child don't play hide and seek. They don't. However, I have had it before because it's just uncomfortable. And when kids don't want to be around something, they physically exit the room. Like, they'll physically leave or they'll throw a temper tantrum. It's because they don't know how a lot of times to regulate, and they don't know any other way to do it. So it's either I'm going to act up because I don't like it, or I'm running for the hills because I don't like it. You know what I mean? It's either panic or avoid. Made it to teen and she raised hell. She's raising hell. Yeah. And that's what's really confusing for a lot of people, is because a lot of people, before they start and before they learn that they should start at the root, you know what I mean, and move forward as far back as possible and move forward to save yourself time, energy, and just make your life a whole lot easier. A lot of people get confused on where to start because their adult self wants peace, their inner teen wants to burn it down, and then their inner child wants a hug. And so sometimes people don't know what to do, but that's the escalation of things. Your inner teen is so fiery, is so upset, is so fierce, is so sassy, is because that's sadness on the way out. It's had years of being sad. It's had years of being whatever from being a child, misunderstood, whatever the F, right? So your child a lot of times just wants a hug. You know, there are a few people's childs who are angry, but like the majority of the people, it's usually some sort of sadness. However, the angry children are kind of funny, I'm not going to lie, because usually the things that they're angry about are so simple, and you're like, oh, okay. I remember my inner child that she has seen us handle so much, and ask her to trust me. Oh, 1,000%. Inner child, tell my inner child team, we made it. But 1,000%, like, 1,000%. I do all the time. I've been told a lot to find my voice. 1,000%. I do all the time. I've been told a lot to find my voice. But maybe not. Some people have a lot of names. Sometimes there's a lot of Courtneys. Never be able to give you a decision. I can pull a love and relationship for you in your greatest, highest good, and I can just let spirit speak. But I will never give anybody a, yeah, break up, yeah, don't, because I think that's a very personal thing. And a lot of times if you are having severe problems and you would like some very deep guidance, a lot of times I need to be in full-blown channel. And full-blown channel requires a private space. And then there's no holds bar. Like, because a lot of those are really intimate details and stuff that's just not appropriate for lives. I had to grow up super quick. I really didn't get a childhood. Oh, the hug emoji. Paid Cash App. Please don't use my new real name. I don't know that we ever have, Shadow. I don't know that we ever have. Paid for Miss Linda. Okay, I'll check spaces in just a second. I hope that makes sense. What? Yeah, that was a teen. I hope they make sense, lol. So, Miss Lauren, the only thing I have is the 13, and I hope it makes sense. So if you sent something in between there, talk blocked her. But if you would like me to clarify anything, just let me know. If you're completely good, just give me like a thumbs up or like a all good. I just don't want to move on if you're not 100% on our read. I'm going to check spaces while you're typing a response. I'll be right back, guys. Don't go nowhere. Ooh, maybe if I push the right button. Alright, perfect. I have Miss Linda on the list, who I believe is Chloe Rose. And then I have Mr. Shadow on the list. And then we're doing last call for the list. So if you would like to get on the list, go ahead and give it and get on there now. We're doing 10-10 for my subscribers, and we're doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers. I have 1 or 2 spots open, and then that's it. We got Cash App, and we got Venmo. Welcome in, JT. So as long as you're good, Miss Lauren, if you need help, and if something's not, like if you're having difficulty after this, and you try to apply some stuff, we have a private space that would be like shadow work, or we have a spiritual guidance and assistance, and we can sit down and we can do exercises one-on-one, and I could do them with you on video chat, you know what I mean, and we can do them in real time, and I can sit down and we can play hide and seek with your inner child. If you feel as though you try what we kind of lended and it doesn't work, or you're having difficulties still afterwards, just hit me up and we can figure it out together. That's not a problem. All right, Miss Linda. Listen, Linda. All right, so do you have a question or a topic that you would like felt into? Miss Linda, are you still in here? I just want to make sure. Thank you so much, guys, for tapping the screen. Thank you for all the love. General touch base on my brother. What do you mean touch base on your brother? So I can only feel into your energy because your energy is the only one I have permission to work in. So I can toss a general, and if they bring up your brother or masculine energy, we can go there as long as they lead the way. But I can't pull on your brother. So if you want me to pull on your brother, I'm going to have to refund you. Because he hasn't given energetic permission. But would you just like a general, or do you want to change your question or topic before I start, or do you just want to go general? Or do you have a question that's like that we could turn in your energy? That would be, I just don't know exactly what you're looking for with the brother energy, so I just want to make sure that we're going in the right direction, because this is something that you paid for. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like throwing out a general. If you have a direct question that you want an answer to, I'd rather just do that. You know what I mean? So it's up to you. We can try to reword the brother question in your energy, or we can just do general. Just let me know which one you want to do. I know you wrote general once, but I was still talking, so I just want to like double down, clarify. Okay. Holy hell. Your mind is chaos right now. I'm going to say that right off the bat. Your mind is straight chaos right now. I get like a very like whirlwindy energy of the fact of being like don't know left from right, up from down. It's a very consuming energy, and I feel as though this type of an energy has consumed you for a long time. I really want to call it a burden, because of the way that it's continuously swirling around. It's very chaos in the fact that it does not have a structure, and it flows like a cyclone through your energy body, is the way that I want to say it. And it is really paired to your heartbreak. I have the Three of Swords out here. It's really paired to your sorrow. It's paired to your disconnect. But they're also... Wouldn't we just say in the burnings cards? But it's also paired with this cycle. I have the moon out here. And I do have... I don't want to say lack mindset, but it's almost like the struggle that never ended is the way that I want to say it. It's definitely this energy of like not being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel and almost feeling consumed. Me and Keys call it the swamp of sadness because that makes it slightly funny, but it's just like you're slowly starting to change a little bit in the way that you've been allowing something to consume you, is the way that I want to say it. It's almost like you're kind of forgetting who you are here. It's almost like you're kind of forgetting the energy that you wield and the power that you do have and the tools that are available to you. And it's almost like you're kind of stumping yourself. You're kind of struggling yourself. You're kind of belittling yourself. And not, that's the wrong word. That's not it. Not belittling, but it's like you're making yourself lesser, like lesser than, in a way. Not small, though. Come on, guys, help me with the good word. Not small, though, but it's almost like just not embracing all that you can do, is the way that I want to say it. There's just this part of like this stagnancy, this lack of clarity, but it's also paired, like, it's also hitting me as communication. It's hitting me as falling out of communication, or not communicating well at the very least. I'm getting a little bit of this mama bear energy that's kind of coming in the backside. And I have 2 pages down here. One of them's a page of pentacles, one of them's a page of cups. And the pages are all young, naive, childish energy, but they can also be messengers. However, it's really taking me straight to this. Ow, I'm getting a hand cramp. Do you have like carpal tunnel? Like, what was that? But it's almost like taking me with this mother bear energy to you being protecting somebody like a mother is the way that I want to say it. Protecting somebody and their innocence because you still view them as something that needs to be protected. That's the way that I want to say it. Okay, don't look at what this card says, but I just threw out this rest. I just threw out this rest card with the bear on it. So we're talking about this mother bear protection energy. And it just makes me feel as though you're kind of attempting to bridge out of this. It really does feel as though you're trying to kind of dig your way out is the way that I want to say it. And I feel like that's why I have this cycles card as a bridge, is because you're attempting to break the cycle. You're attempting to break the everyday, the pullback, you're trying to break out of this lack of joy. And I really feel like you're trying to have better foundations is the way that I want to say it. Weren't we just saying, like, literally, what is this? 8 of Pentacles, but that's the hard work card. That's the, like, prudence. That's the keep going. That's the putting in the effort card. Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Dang. I got a King of Cups out here. Jesus. There is so much Swords energy here for you, dude. And it's like consuming. It's like anxiety, it's overwhelming, it's fear, it's worry, it's late night staying up. It's like a ton of like not good air energy. It's a ton of not good air energy. And I just feel like because we had the Magician that was... Okay, this is funny. Because we had the Magician that was out here earlier in reverse, and we were talking about how you might not know, like, the tools you're utilizing and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's kind of like you don't really find your energy. You can't really find yourself right now. We have the High Priestess out as a bridge, and the Queen of Pentacles out as a bridge, and this is what you are working on, because the High Priestess is all about her tools. It's all about her connection. It's all about everything put together. And then with this Queen of Pentacles, this is just grounded. So when we're talking about foundations here, this is what this is, and this is what you're forging. And this is part of this forging act right here, is this hard work, dedication. However, this is where you're currently at. This is like one step. And the way that they're telling me to take this, and this has been like, I think you're like the 2nd person ever that they've had me take it this way. This is like the princess. This is one step below queendom. Right? This is where you're at right now. Like the Princess of Pentacles. And part of what you're doing right now is the growing stage. And this is why we have so much bridging out here. This is why we have so much recognition, so much moving on coming in, is because you're bridging through growth. You're bridging through healing. You're bridging through letting go of some of this. Part of this is realizing what you can control and letting go of the things that you cannot. And this is literally what, weren't we just saying? Look at this. Tower out for realization. As a bridge, so this is currently what you're doing. You're realizing what you can control, and you are letting go, or attempting, or beginning to let go of what you cannot control. It's not easy. No one ever said it was. And here we are. That's the way that I want to say it. Because it's clearly not, because you get stuck up in your mind like no one's business. And I don't want to call you like worst case Sally, but like you have like 6 trains of thoughts going at once, and they almost collide on the tracks all the time. I feel as though like you physically get tired, and I feel like this is a double meaning with this rest card out here. I feel like you physically get exhausted, you physically get tired, not just energetically. Tower again. But this 4 of Cups coming out here with this Temperance and with this 6 of Cups is still pulling me back to this child energy. But this 4 of Cups out here is really, it's just giving fighting the tower energy. That's the way that I want to say it. It's almost like fighting your tower. Like, not really being able to see your way out. Look at that. The decision card being paired with the stuck card. It's like almost like not being able to see your way out and not really fully seeing your way of balancing it. We have another damn protection card out here. Alright, hold on. Let me ask this question. Because why not? Because I got the Four of Wands, but in the one deck that we were just throwing, this Four of Wands is all talking about this into forward movement. It's all talking about moving as one, the four pillars coming together, but in this deck it's movement. And it's out here in reverse, so that's bringing me back to stagnation. But now I'm starting to get some King of Wands energies out here. So let's see who this masculine is. Are you currently in a disagreement? Are you currently in a disagreement with a masculine, or currently, I don't want to say fighting, but in some sort of at least a struggle with a masculine energy? Because I have three Kings of Wands out here in three different decks, and I just got thrown an Emperor, and they're falling out all in between this Quarrel card, all in between this Struggle card, and I just got my Ace of Wands in reverse, and that's all about indecisions, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to approach something, kind of feeling like you missed your chance. It's giving kind of odd energy, and I feel like this is lending to part of this head chaos, is this indecision, is this, you know, I'm gonna be honest, all they keep saying is you gotta accept it. That's all I keep saying, is acceptance, 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 over and over and over again. So there's just something here that you are still currently fighting, that you're not willing to either let go of or surrender to, because I do have this paired with an acceptance card. Another, yeah. What? You are holding on so hard to something, and I haven't quite figured out if it's this masculine energy that we're holding on so hard to, or if it's just the fact of not wanting to release the tower. But I really do feel like this masculine energy is paired in somehow to your tower, and they go almost hand in hand. And I don't know if you are, I don't know if you see yourself as an independent person, but you definitely do like to be in the driver's seat, is the way that I want to say it. You like to be in control, and there's this part of surrender that doesn't allow you that, and that's where I feel like you're getting stuck at. That's where I feel like you're getting kind of, like, paused at. There's, like, this lack of being able to make a choice, being able to choose, or maybe just a lack to want to make the choice or choose. It's like, yeah, but they're telling you kind of have to. You got to move forward. You got to move on. This is healing. And this comes through this release of this Four of Coins here, this letting go, this not harboring, this not holding on to. And this is really tied to this tower. This is really tied to this tower because it came out first as a bridge and then second in reverse, which is somebody usually fighting their tower. But it's like one moment you're aware of it, and it's like I feel like there's a part of you, your mind, who's aware of what you need to do, and then there's a part of your heart who doesn't want to do it. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. I feel like it's because you care too much is the reason that you don't want to, like, release. But honestly, the only person you're hurting here is yourself, because that's uncertain action. Uncertain action. Like this is all cruelty. This is all like despair type of energy, and it's your inner fuckery. That's the way I'm gonna say it. It's your inner fuckery because you already know what you need to do. You just don't want to do it. But they're saying that this isn't, my left ear started ringing, that this is the step that you have to take. Is this healing? Is this moving on? Is this focusing on you? That's how you unstuck yourself. That's how you unstuck yourself. Because right now, like, you'd be thinking you trapped. Like, that's the way I want to say it. Like, you'd be thinking you stuck by it, but you're not. Got the Emperor energy out here again. Leading, so, like, dang, girl. Dang. I'm gonna be honest, like, you don't want to do this at all. Like, that, I mean, this, you don't want to do this at all. I'm gonna be honest, you're not being you. Your truth is your power. You're not being you when you're holding on so tight like this. Because it's almost like you're willing to do whatever. You're willing to be whatever. You're willing to say whatever. And you're not being you. You're more concerned with whoever the masculine in here and whatever this energy is, this battle, this quarrel. And you're more concerned about the other person than yourself. And this is kind of what they're lending you to, is that you're putting yourself last, and they're telling you almost to reprioritize because you doing this is hurting you, and they're almost kind of taking a step back, your team, and they're just letting you do it. So if you feel as though your team's kind of like, nah, you do you, it's because they are. They are not going to make this decision for you, and this is why your Two of Wands, your choice is out crossing your tower, because this is your crossroads. Your crossroads to finishing your tower is your decision and what you choose to do with it. Because it's either, it's like that. It's like that. What's that one? It's like that Kevin Gates interview when he was like, "You want to stay stuck? Stay stuck." And that's exactly what your team's doing right now, is they're allowing you the space to make the decision. So if you feel as though they're not stepping in to save you, it's because they're not, and it's because you don't need saving, and they're not worried about saving you. It's because you're doing it to yourself. So if you're feeling like they're kind of not, I don't want to say not answering, but if you feel like they're kind of like giving you wishy-washy answers, or kind of leaving them open-ended, or not really, you don't feel like they're really guiding you one way or the other, it's because they're not. Now, out here, they're talking about you're holding on, it's hurting yourself, all your worry and your anxiety isn't good for your greatest, highest good, and it's causing you a lot of despair, and it's amplifying your hurt, and your anger and your sadness. But the undertone of the entire thing is you putting yourself last, like every single time. Yeah. You putting yourself last every single time, my lady. Choice is yours. This is this too. The choice is yours. You got the world in the palm of your hand. Like, physically, choice is yours. You're not following your gut. You're not following your instinct. You're not doing what you feel pulled or led to do in the situation. And you're still sitting in the crossroads. It doesn't matter what you choose, but you have to choose. But they're just saying, choosing to hold on, and they're showing me a picture of an anchor. Choosing to hold on is what's weighing you down. It's physically holding you back. And I feel the need to almost say that, I feel the need to say that releasing something doesn't mean it'll never come back. That's the way that I want to say it. And anytime a team says that, it makes me feel as though it's not a balloon that's going to be released and never return again, is the way that I want to say it. Anytime that a team, to me, always hints like, just because you release it doesn't mean it's never coming back. Like, it usually hints as the release is healthier for you and things shake themselves out. Do you have any questions, Miss Linda? Do you have, do you need anything clarified? I'm going to scroll back through here. But do you need anything clarified? Because you are legitimately sitting at your crossroads right now. And they're saying, so, like, release, surrender, and moving forward for you independently is what you need to do. As far as energy goes and growth and choosing you is what they have out as part of your, like, what we call, like, your greatest, highest good. Because it stops you hurting you. And that's kind of the way that they're laying it out on the table. It stops you from hurting you further. Oh, do you? It hurts. So, like, good God. It actually hurts. Have you gotten it looked at? Because it, like, actually hurts. Let me scroll back through. If you have anything you want clarified or something like that, go ahead and pull it. I'm going to scroll back through all your comments. That's crazy. Oh, you didn't comment much. It's exhausting. Oh, okay, well. Like, so just let me know if you have anything, anything that you would like. They're talking about me advocating for my sick brother. Let's clarify. We'll just yes no it. We'll just yes no it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I got my empathy card out here with my heartbreak card, and then I have this this investing in card, which would be like beginnings, goals, making plans, laying almost like a foundation because it's more of my pentacles. And then I have like a sadness, a little bit of like a lack of success or confidence. But it's followed by a standing up for what you believe in, standing your ground, defensiveness, protectiveness. Like, this is your kind of energy. Asserting yourself, like, that is your kind of energy. Which is what's taking me back to the protection. Yeah. When I asked the question point blank, because it is in your energy, should you stand up and advocate for your brother? They threw me the transition card, and they are warning that doing so hits you into rocky water. Doing so dumps you like full-fledged into the wave, is the way that they're saying it. So they're just warning you of that. Is that it gets worse before it gets better. That's the way that they're saying it. However, this hermit that's coming out after it isn't striking me as a normal hermit. It's striking me as speaking your truth. It's striking me as realizing what you can control and what you can't control. And when you find what you can control, should you wish to execute your control and your leverage, go for it. But when it is out of your control, it's releasing yourself from the knowing or the energetic responsibility because it's not yours. And to me, that's what this hermit is. So, that's what this is here. It's the knowing your limits, knowing what's yours, knowing what's not. And that hermit is taking me like the learn yourself to learn the lesson. And that's what's pulling me from hermit to Hierophant. I do have the world card out here though at like the beginning, or I'm sorry, at the end. Yeah. They're just... I don't think that they're against you advocating. I don't. I just think they're against you assuming responsibility for things that aren't yours. And especially energetic responsibility, and the back and forth of you taking on more than you can physically control or handle and being buried underneath the weight of it. Because paired with what they just brought out with the Hermit, as far as it being taken as know your limits, know what you can control and what you can't, you can only do so much, and it's releasing yourself from the idea that you can handle things that you actually have no say over. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest though, like I got this nine of wands out here in reverse, and it just strikes me as you're not one to give up regardless. So they're just telling you to be smart with how you play the game, with how you advocate, with how you stand up, how you defend, how you go mama bear. Because they're warning you, there's a balance to everything. There's a balance to everything, and there's something here about it's only going to get worse before it gets better. And they're just talking about not losing yourself in the battle. There's a difference about persistence, and then there's a difference between losing yourself amongst it all and no longer being a help to anybody. That's what I feel like more of the release is when it comes to this King of Wands, is releasing the things that are out of your control with it, rather than just dropping them dry. They're noting your stubbornness, though. They're noting your resilience. They're noting you're not one to give up. But they really want you to look at it like internally and realize what you can actually influence, what you can actually handle. And they're also kind of hinted at like financially, what you can financially handle. So I don't know if there are any financial bills or anything like that. But Spirit's just warning it's not going to be easy should you continue to fight for this. Because we did have the Rocky card coming in, and they were talking about an anchor and waves, so it's making me feel as though things are going to pick up before they settle down. So they're going to say if you're going to do it, you got to be willing to withstand the storm, otherwise, But regardless, finding that balance in what you can and what you cannot control is what's going to quiet the headspace, because they're really talking about how your anxiety, your worry, your oppression, and a little bit of fear regarding the whole situation is keeping you stuck, stagnant, and not moving. And you can't help anybody when you're not moving. Absolutely. So I feel like that's more what they're worried about for you, than like cutting and running. Because I think your team already knows cutting and running ain't your style. You know what I'm saying? I already feel like they're like, oh no, we know she ain't leaving, but we can at least tell her to be smart. That, transition, that's what makes me feel like is the back and forth, is the fact that they're telling you to look at the whole picture. Not only what maybe he has been in his best, or what is in his best interest, but also what's in yours. Because you were what you can control, and they're pretty adamant that they don't want you to like be pulled down, is what they're saying it, by trying to extend more than you're capable of like handling. There's a lot of transition cards out here and a lot of bridging. So it just makes me feel as though, and I'm saying transitioning as bridges. I'm not saying it as like, death, rebirth. I'm just saying it as like bridging, moving through spaces, decisions, deciding things. So Yes, he started to decline a little as of recent. Yeah, so, I mean, they're just preparing you that there's only so much you can do, and tap on a wall, there's only so much that you can do. I hope that this helped you, Miss Linda, at least confirm what maybe you were already feeling and kind of putting some puzzle pieces together, maybe, as far as the fact that they know that you're not just going to throw in the towel. But they do want you to kind of look at the big picture of where it also involves you and not just somebody else. Does that make sense? Do you need anything clarified? Like anything else clarified, or do you think you are good, madam? Mommy of two boxers, welcome in. Alright, thank you so much. I'm glad it helped, Miss Linda. Thank you for allowing me in your energy. Thank you for your time and space tonight. It is much appreciated. Thank you, everyone who's been tapping the screen. Thank you for all the likes, shares, follows, gifts. It is much appreciated. I have Mr. Shadow on the list. And then I'm going to check spaces right now. And then if nobody else is put in, then we're going to close the list for the night. So I will be right back. Mr. Shadow, you're up. Get ready, sir. Oops. Sorry. General or whatever leads. Alrighty. I feel like I need to tell you to stand up a little straighter. I don't know if you hunch or maybe you've just been a little down in the dumps. I feel like I need to tell you to stiffen up your upper lip. You know what I mean? It's pulling me to that Eminem song, Toy Soldier. It's like, it's pushing me to like fix your posture. You're defeating your energy by the way you walk, by the way you sit, by the way you hang your head. And they're kind of talking about you need to kind of be careful about, they're talking about nonverbals, the nonverbal signs and cues that you use. Do you have like side pain? It's kind of striking like love handle-ish. I don't know if you have love handles. That's not my business. But it's striking like, I'm going to say kidney almost. Like, yeah, it's coming in on the lower left side. Not quite down by like as if somebody were to have like back dimples. Not low like tailbone. But definitely lower, like, I'm going to say maybe 3 to 4 fingers below bottom of rib cage. Like if you were to get like in that kind of in between, it's kind of coming through the left side as like either an ache. I want to call it more of an ache or maybe a muscle thing, more than a pain. Do you have a tall guide? Do you have a tall guide that kind of blocks out light? I feel like I don't remember him. I feel like I want to tell you that you have a second chance on the horizon. That's the way that I want to preface this whole thing, is I want to start talking about your second chance. And I feel like your second chance for you particularly is your rebirth. And that's so funny how we mentioned your back, and now it's like it feels like it's like moving. But there's just something about kind of carving out your own path and kind of doing you in a little bit of like this independent structure is the way that I want to say it. And there's something about the need to kind of lean on somebody that might not be the most, I don't know, I don't know if you just don't like leaning on people, and that's where this independence comes from. Not only just carving out your own path because you're having this rebirth moment, you're having this second chance, this embracing your fire, you're embracing your energy. I just feel as though they're kind of lending to the fact that they don't want recent situations, and this is the way that they're saying it, so just follow me here for a second. Recent situations to close off, they're being very slow with it, your heart chakra. They don't want recent situations to close off your heart chakra. And it's just something about the need to still kind of remain trusting and to still remain loving. There's just something here about how they don't want you to throw in the towel just yet, is the way that I'm kind of getting it. Almost like they're hinting at you to go with the flow. And I don't know if this tall guide is somebody that you normally have around. And if you feel as though you have somebody new around, I'm almost wondering if this is this gentleman, because he's striking me as a tall, silent type. He's not really saying a whole lot, but he sure is taking up space off to the left. I feel like he has something to do with your presence, something to do with your like essence. Like it's almost like he's ushering you through a transition is the way that I want to say it. But I don't think he's a traditional transitioner is the way that I want to say it. I know my back's cold. I'm not getting him as like a big transitioner energy. I'm not getting him as like a well-known deity or god or something like that. No. Or angel. Like, no, I'm just getting him as like, he's just, I don't want to say he's just here to help you with this, because I feel like he has other things that he's probably really good at. But he almost feels a little bit mysticky to me. And it kind of feels as though he's here to help you. He's here to help you kind of embrace your step up is the way that I want to say it. Because there's this part of your healing that it's forcing you to not only have to trust, that's the second trust card about, by the way, not only have to trust your intuition and trust yourself, but there's this part of believing in yourself that you're going to have to do, because in this independence, nobody's going to be clapping for you. Like, that's the way that I want to say it, is that this independent streak is almost what I want to call it, this independent streak. You're going to have to be your own cheerleader. You're going to have to, when the sun card pops out as we're talking about cheerleading, you're going to have to be your own source of positivity. You're going to have to be your own light. And in order to do that, you have to kind of believe the shit you say. You kind of have to trust the shit you do. You kind of have to, do the dang thing. And it just makes me feel like in order to do this, you're going to have to trust that things are going to work out is the way that I want to say it. You're not being led wrong. I don't know if things are tight. There's just a little bit, it's almost feeling kind of claustrophobic. I don't know necessarily what's going on, but it feels kind of claustrophobic to where there's walls on every side. And I don't know if these are just these physical barriers and that's why they're showing up as walls in my space, or if this is like being squeezed or pressed for either finances or just uncomfortabilities, or there's just something about like the box. It's like in one of those like low budget horror movies where like the walls just slowly start moving. It's like this kind of restriction, kind of an energy, and it's almost like instilling almost like a fear or an anxiety that is kind of rising to the surface. And I feel like this is what ties in your believing card. It's like trusting and believing that they're not going to drop you. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. I don't know if you've been dropped a lot or mishandled, because we say mishandled here. I don't know if you have been, as we're saying trusting, we literally have the Chariot. 1,000%. But there's just something about being mishandled or being dropped in the past, and they're just telling you that they're not going to drop you like everybody else. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. But you can help them by believing them when they say it, because there's something about your energy backing what they're trying to do that helps remove, this is going to sound weird, so just follow me, that helps remove the limitations from what they're trying to do. So they can try to send you 100 things. If you block 99 of them, that doesn't help you. So they're almost like telling you that they need you to back up what they're doing with energy, is the way that they're saying it. Like, they want you to kind of, they want you kind of believe yourself a little bit, is the way that I want to say it. I feel as though they're going to help you. It's still some strength in self. And when I say strength in self, I feel like this is re-strengthening your foundations because of this lonely road that you're going on, because of this rebirth that you're having to achieve by yourself. What is that? Do you ever smell, I don't even know how to describe that smell. Do you ever get random whiffs of things when you're by yourself? I don't have one word to describe that smell. My first initial reaction was like smoke, but it didn't smell like pipe, it didn't smell like cigarette. I don't even know what I would even relate that to as a smoke. That's why I don't even want to say that anymore. But it was just a weird energetic sniff that I don't necessarily know what that smell was, but it just hit me in the middle of whatever we were just talking about, which I don't remember, so sorry. But there's just something about smell. Somebody smells on your team. Like, and it just makes me feel like part of what like, I don't want to say, like, you know who stinks on your team. It's not like a bad smell, but that was really odd. And they're not pairing it with saying anything to where it's important. They literally just did it to make a point, I guess. You have a ton of negative feminine energy on the table. Queen of Wands, Princess of Wands, Pentacles, you have a ton of feminine energies, all in reverse. And then the last card out was the Hanged Man. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like this is kind of what they're kind of helping you see in a different light. There's something about this being a blessing instead of a curse for you. But I really just, if you feel like somebody's trying to get your attention, they are, because your team has not stopped poking me the entire time I have been attempting to do this with you. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like you need to sit down with somebody, and I feel like it's whoever's this smell is, because I keep getting poked on my left side, and I have not witnessed your tall guy poking me yet. However, I keep getting poked, like, almost like in the back of the armpit, or like, not like in the armpit, but like if they were to like poke almost your like back or something like that, and it's coming from the left, and then you just get interrupted with like this smell that I don't even know if I think it's just to alert you that they're around. But I'm gonna be honest, it's not just a comforting like smell. It's like a hey, hi, hey, stop ignoring me, I'm right here kind of thing. And I feel like it's more like they're trying to engage in communication with you. They're trying to let you know that they want to chit chat, and that's the way that I want to say it. So that's going to be picking up, because they want you to kind of change how you look at that. I don't know why. I don't know if you have been taking it as like a sign, has been like, yeah, you're around, cool, high five. But that's not the sign they're getting at. If that's how you've been taking, that's not the sign they're getting at. They're getting it as a, I want your attention, kind of a thing. Shut up. As the stillness card comes out, like, as the stillness card comes out, they're talking about, are you in like rebound energy? And I don't mean rebound energy. I just got poked when I said rebound energy. I don't mean like getting laid rebound energy. I don't mean it like that. I just mean like, are you attempting to be on the upswing? That's kind of the way that I want to say it. Like knocked down, but not knocked down for long. I feel like your tall guy, I don't know, damn, he's still over here, bro. I feel like your tall guy is going to be your builder. I feel like he's helping you transition, but I feel like he's your builder. I feel like he's your builder of foundations with you. Now, do you play metaphysically? Do you play in things that haven't walked the earth? And I don't mean it as like demonic things. That's not what I mean. I mean more metaphysical. Because I am getting kind of like mystical, whimsical kind of energies. It's not screaming fairies or anything like that. It's honestly screaming more dragons. It's not screaming phoenix. Nope, it's not. Nope, I was corrected. But it's definitely screaming dragon. So it makes me feel like because you're in the midst of a rebuild and you're in the midst of enlightening yourself, like on the upswing from being mishandled and redefining literally everything that you are with your strength intact the whole time, because I feel like your strength hasn't faltered. I feel like it's your trust and your faith that has faltered. And I feel like because your strength hasn't faltered, for some reason, it's paired with your dragon. Like, for some reason, your strength is paired with whatever red dragon you have around. It is paired with it. And if you feel as though sometimes your fire's still there, but you just kind of feel a little your dragony friend is part of the cause for that. Now, dragons give no shits. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm 100, I feel like, I feel like your dragon's kind of here to help you unstuck yourself. That's the way that I want to say it. He's going to be literally lighting the fire under your ass, and he's going to be keeping your flame lit while you work with this taller dude. Because I don't know who Mr. Skyscraper is, because he has not said a word the whole time. He just standing there. But he's going to be a big character, even in the background, even if you don't make conscious work with him. He's going to be a big energy in the background, working side by side with the fiery wisdom energy, with that ancient healing, ancient building energy, that creation energy of your dragon. Because they are physically ushering you into a new beginning. Like, it's not just rebirth for you. Like, you are getting to change everything. Like, your tower was like the tower. Like, your tower was like the tower. Like, it is ground zero. Like, it is blown to pieces and you starting again. Like, I'm like, I feel like they're saying nothing salvageable. As my back's getting cold, I feel like they're saying nothing salvageable means like it was complete and utter, like as if somebody lit the propane tank and the whole thing went kaboom. Is kind of the energy behind it. And he's here to unstuck you. So him and the dragon are here to help you rebuild and unstuck yourself, and they don't want you to lose anything during transition. So if you feel like you have more people at your disposal than you typically do, I'm going to tell you you're right. If you feel like you have 3 to 4 more, and I say people loosely, but 3 to 4 more people on your team, energies on your team assisting you, it's because you do. I get like a whole squad energy going on, like they called in for backup, is really the way it feels. There's something about not wanting you to skip a beat as you break through for victory from this being mishandled card, this heartbreak card, this bridging through defeat card, as we're unstucking ourselves from the devil card, as we're breaking free. You see this little hummingbird, thank you. You see this little hummingbird somewhere over here in the card. I don't want to look on the screen. Somewhere over here on the card. This is you and spirit, that guiding light, helping you get out of the trap that you set for yourself by accident. The trap of the tower, the kind of the pit of despair, the entanglement that you are currently finding yourself struggling to get out of. And part of it's this, let's hide the tatas. Part of this is breaking out and following your gut, following your energy, following spirit's lead. Like, this is a big part of it. This is what leads to your victory in several decks here. This is what leads to your success, because this is when we have this celebration. This is when we have the coming together of things. Threes are still big, and they have been big in my space, key spaces, and several of my clients who are doing similar things, part of the break free Pisces season. But it's the combination of a lot of things. It's mind, body, spirit. It's connection to conscious, subconscious. It's connection to the 3D and higher conscious. It's a lot of different things. It's mind, body, soul. And that is why it's collaboration. There's a lot that goes into effect here. But I'm going to be honest, there ain't no reason you can't get it done, because you have a lot around you right now. And if you almost feel this energy, like you feel energetically like you can't fail, but emotionally you feel like you failed, it's okay. Emotions, sorry. Emotions are energy in motion. And they're the product of. So don't follow that. It's like the symptom. Like, don't follow that as fact. They want you to kind of lean on what you know to be fact. And they'll help you work through everything else while you're physically putting other things into practice. So it just makes me feel like they're not letting you fail anytime soon. They're actually here to help you build, like, something serious. Like, something serious, for sure. Do you have a... if you don't believe in duality, you should probably leave my room right now. Do you feel like you have... I'm going to look at the screen in a second for this answer. Do you feel like you have something lingering around you, but you can't quite pinpoint it? Do you feel as though you're being watched lately, and not by something on your team? Okay, let me be more specific. In not a good way watched, like watched to be scoped out, watched to gain information on, watched as almost being observed to learn your patterns. That kind of like a stalking watched, but not interacted with. Staying far enough away as to not alarm your energetic bubble, but close enough to that you can feel it move around. do you get the sense that it's low to the ground, less than 3 feet high, and it just seems to pop up or peek around things around your, I'm getting full cold body chills, around your presence or house or place of work. It's not very far off the ground. Like, I'm talking like Munchkin. Like 3 feet, 4 feet maybe. Yeah, so, you just, you just have something that's kind of hanging around. I'm gonna tell you, I would tell it to leave, if I was you, because it's not dead, because it's not lived this lifetime. It's just kind of following you, is the way that I want to say it. It's only 3 feet tall. It has like this little hood thing on. It just has like this little hood thing on. Like, you can see its face. But it just has this little tiny hood thing on. And it kind of runs around, like kind of gremlin-y. But it's not a gremlin in the traditional sense of how they appear. However, it is lingering around you, and it it fucked around and found out and got a little too close, and it outed itself. But it's not there to help you. It's just like peeping around. It's not there to assist you. It literally has nothing to lend to what you're doing. It's not necessarily bad, but it doesn't need to be stalking you. That's the only thing that is not the best thing, is that it's like gaining intel on you, is the way that I want to say it. It's just following you, and it's spending a little bit too much time in your energy. So we just want to make sure that nothing's pulling on you that doesn't need to be there, that's not reciprocating what it's getting. Does that make sense? And we don't need anything to be leading you down a different way. We don't need anything to be pulling on your lower energies, bringing you lower. We don't need anything perpetuating any kind of denser energies, either in your space right now, especially through transition. So while you're not in like imminent danger, and it's not out to get you, and you're not being attacked or anything like that, it's just a lingering thing that you don't need around. So it would probably be in your best interest to give her the boot. Give your team the permission to toss it. Because if it's not reciprocating and it sits in a denser frequency, you trying to pull yourself out of, am I getting cold again? You trying to pull yourself out of sadness and density is not going to help being surrounded by density. Now, there's duality in everything, but I just don't like how casually observant and okay that energy is. It messed up because it got too close when I saw it. But it gives me the skeeves. And it just doesn't feel like that would be the best thing for you to have around right now. That's the way I want to say it without going like straight fear-mongery. It's just not something that's lending to you in any way. And its presence would be more of a hindrance. It's not alive. It's not a dead person. It's not on your team. It's just a passerby that thought that was going to be a good idea. And no, definitely not. So, do you know how to do that? Do you know how to give things the boot and like mean it so it doesn't have to come back again? Because I don't want to like leave you high and dry if you don't. Okay. Alright. As long as you have a plan, you good. And like I said, it's not like level 12 alarm bells. Specifically the one that smells. It's not like level 12 alarm bells, but it's not going to lend to what you're building. So if you do feel like it's not leaving, just hit me up. Like, I'm not going to charge you. Just hit me up. And we can troubleshoot that if you feel like you can't get it. If you feel like it's refusing to leave or you can't give it the boot yourself. Does that make sense? So, but I wouldn't sit on that too long because it's already been outed. So it's going to try to kind of push away a little bit. So if you feel like it goes dormant for a day or two, it hasn't left. It's just hiding. I know it sounds weird. It hasn't left. It's just hiding. It's, because it done messed up all over there. Like, it done messed up all over there. Yeah, no worries. Like, seriously, no worries. Take your time. Do what you gotta do. Just earn that space yourself. Always bring everything against your team. But for sure, definitely red flag over here. You know what I mean? Trying to fly under the radar. Exactly. Yeah. Trying not to be seen, but not very good at it, you know? Now we're transmuting it. Gross. But do you have any questions, Mr. Shadow? Or anything you would like clarified about anything we said today? Sure, fire away. We need to talk. We need to talk. Right away, we need to talk. It's more to get your attention because he disappeared. So they can leave and come back, but my question is, do you feel as though he's... Ow. Do you feel as though he's gone right now? Because I feel like he's right here. So they can definitely blip out and come back. My team does it all the time. But do you feel like he's currently left? No, I had a weird dream 2 days ago. Okay. I was going to say, because if you feel like he's currently not in your space, let me just clarify, because I have a pretty far reach. So sometimes when my team's traveling, they can be pretty far away. No, he's pretty adamant. Like, he's standing right next to me. He's like right here. But I was gonna say, I feel as though he did return with a slightly different, he's returned with a slightly different energetic signature. Which makes me feel as though, he shifted a little bit. Not in a good way, not in a bad way. But he's just grown and changed for a second. So his energy might feel slightly different when you begin to interact with it again. But he's fully back right now. He's like legit standing right here-ish. A little bit more off the camera, but like right on this side. He's been gone for weeks, and all of a sudden he's back. Yeah, he got stuff he wants to share with you. Like, but he's like calling for your guys' powwow. Pertinent details is the way that he's describing it. I don't know if he uses big words. The smells tobacco, and you hit a ton of things tonight. I think my team uses a sweet tobacco, so that's honestly probably why I didn't run tobacco, but it definitely hit me as a smoky smell. My team uses a very sweet smelling tobacco, and Keys knows exactly what I'm talking about. So it has a certain smell to it, and that is what my brain always says is tobacco, even though I know it's sweet. So when he came in, I was like, I want to say smelly like smoke, but cigarette, but like pipe, but not. That makes sense then. It was phenomenal. If anybody needs a great smelling tobacco, I could tell you where to get some. Yeah, no, like he seems very articulate and very particular. Like, he seems the kind of person who would tell you what he needs to tell you in the correct phrasing to where the words matter. It's some sort of cherry tobacco scent. It's unique. Cherry. So my dude's is not cherry, but it is amazing. But I have smelled cherry before, but yeah, dude, I don't know. It just came in sideways. Like, it's some sort, yeah. But like, he wants to talk to you, like 1,000%. He wants to fill you in, and he wants to talk about pertinent and particular details. Like, I don't know what you guys were working on before he left. I'm gonna be honest. But it makes me feel like more has developed. So if he was feeding you hints, or if he's your leader, and in the way that I mean that he's the one who like kind of pushes you to kind of draw you into something, and then you guys kind of work on things together. He has something else he wants to share with you that's going to like trigger that, oh my god, and it's going to lure you in even deeper, because there's like, it's just, it makes me feel like he's using the word developing. It like just makes me feel like I'm getting like this map that's like, it just keeps unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. Like, it's like one of these, like, it just makes me feel like he has more puzzle pieces, and there's more things that you are to do. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. It's almost like task kind of oriented. He's going to share some info, and then it's like some tasks. Like, it's very interesting. And the reason I say it is because that's how one of my guides works. He works in breadcrumbing, is what I call it. They're like, oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do this. But it's to keep you going. But he has a whole lot that he wants to drop on you. Nail a ton of things and good. Let him open the room for me then. We talk a ton in my space, and I can't access it specifically since he left. He's talking about a new key. He's talking about new keys and opening doors. So, I'm not sure if that's leading, I'm not sure if that's talking about your room, your space, or what, or I don't know. But, I feel like he'll set it up. Like, I feel like I want to tell you he'll set it up. Like, you just set time and he'll set it up. Like, that's the way that it's making me feel. You dictate the time, he's there. Like, he is ready. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No holds bar. Like, he ready. Like, he has more information than I think that he was even prepared to have gotten. Like, this is the way it hits me. It's hitting me as, like, he has more to share than he thought he would. So now he's just super excited to share it. He just keeps saying he did good. He did good. So, he went on a little mission and brought back more than just a loaf of bread for you. So, I hope that helps, Mr. Shadow. I know this was kind of really odd and random, but I feel like he's being vague on purpose. Like, vaguely specific on purpose. And I understand that because my team does it, so as long as you understand the specificity in the vagueness, then yeah, because that's like his game. He does that exactly. Yeah, that's his game, and he enjoys it. Thank you so much, Shadow, for allowing us to tap into you. Thank you for your time and space and all of your things, except for the little minion thing. Definitely talk to him about that one, because I don't know if that came back with him, unbeknownst to him, or if it just was able to slide in more unnoticed because he was gone. Because I almost get a little bit of the, like, Big Daddy Protector vibe. Ooh, that did not sound good. No, not like that. But, like, in the fact of, like, he strikes me as the, like, overwatcher, the protector of, like, your dwelling, your home, your energy, like, almost like kind of like your personal gatekeeper in a way, without being, like, specifically labeled that. So I feel like when he was gone, I feel like a couple things may have just wandered in that don't really need to be there anymore. So now that he's back, it's a good time for you guys to talk and set precedents again. And he might have to do some booty kicking for you. Exactly. Never directly telling me, super vague, like, you know what this means. You're good. I call him Guardian because he's never told me his name, and that's what it's been. You can call him whatever you want to call him. It's totally up to you. If that works for you, then go for it. Go for it. I hope, Mr. Shadow, that helps, and I hope that elicits your guys' reconnection, because when they come back, it's a lot of fun. Like 1,000%. No worries. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for spending your time, your energy, and your, ness here in the room. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for your time, your space, your energy. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We have a website. Everything's in Linktree. Please go ahead and check it out. Just a reminder for my regulars, I will not be here until Monday evening or potentially Tuesday morning. You will not see me on live. I will be posting every day, and we will be doing all the things, but I just won't be live. Got way too much going on. Mrs. Keys of Wisdom 369 will be live, so catch up with her. You will see her live at least tomorrow, if not a couple other times. But I will see you guys later. Thank you everyone who donated. Thank you everyone who followed, who liked, who clapped it up and held space for everybody. It is much appreciated. I will see you guys Monday evening.